You've probably heard someone say life is a game, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about what playbook you're using? Turns out there's more than one way to play. We're about to dive into three totally different strategies for how you navigate your career, your business, maybe even life itself. So let's get right to it. What's your actual objective? Are you trying to outthink your opponent in just one single match? Or maybe you want to stay in the game forever, long after everyone else has packed up and gone home? Or is your goal to control the entire board? Your answer to that question really determines which playbook you're using, whether you even know it or not. Okay, first up, we've got the analyst. This playbook is all about that cold, hard logic. This is for the people who see life as this giant chess match, a really complex puzzle that, can actually be solved and won if you just use pure rational strategy. And the whole foundation for the analyst's playbook is something called game theory. Now, don't let the term intimidate you. All it is really is the science of strategic thinking. It's about figuring out the smartest possible move to make when your success is completely tied to the moves other people make. This quote just nails it. Game theory isn't just about planning your own moves. It's about getting freakishly good at predicting everyone else's. The analyst masters the game because they can get inside the heads of the other players. They understand their motivations, and they can see their next move coming from a mile away. Oh, poor Charlie Brown. This is the perfect and kind of painful example of a total failure in strategic thinking. Every single year, he trusts Lucy. He's only focused on what he wants to happen, to kick that football. He never stops to think about her most likely move. An analyst would know instantly that Lucy's biggest reward is seeing him land flat on his back. It's predictable. And this gets us to the analyst's golden rule. Look forward and reason backward. So you start by picturing the end of the game. For Charlie Brown, there are really only two endings. Lucy holds the ball or she pulls it away. Knowing Lucy's track record, the second one is pretty much a guarantee. So if you reason backward from that outcome, the smartest move for Charlie, right now, is to just turn around and walk away. Think about it in a job negotiation. You look forward to the final offer, you guess their top budget, and then you reason backward to figure out what your opening salary request should be. See? Okay, but what if winning one single match isn't the point at all? This brings us to our second playbook, the visionaries. And they are operating on a completely different level. See, they aren't playing to win. They're playing to keep playing. This is a game of endurance, not some quick victory. This whole idea, which was really popularized by Simon Sinek, splits the world into two types of games. You have finite games, think football or chess. They've got clear rules, a finish line, and obvious winners and losers. But then you have infinite games, like business or politics or life itself. These games go on forever. Players come and go, the rules can literally change overnight, and the whole point isn't to win. The point is just to stay in the game. The visionary? They are all about the infinite game. So, how in the world do you play a game that never ends? Well, the visionary has an infinite mindset that's built on 5 key things. First, they advance a just cause, a vision for the future that's so big it inspires people way beyond just profits. They build trusting teams, where people feel safe enough to be vulnerable and do their best work. They actually study their worthy rivals because they understand that good competition makes them better. They're ready for existential flexibility, meaning they're willing to completely change course to keep their cause alive. And finally, they have the courage to lead, making the tough calls for the long-term good, even if it's unpopular right now. All right, let's shift gears. Because our third playbook, well, it's a whole different animal, and it's definitely the most controversial. This game isn't about logic, and it's not about endurance. It's about one thing and one thing only: power. Welcome to the Prince's Playbook, which pulls its inspiration from the infamous ideas of Machiavelli. In this game, everything is seen as a struggle for dominance. Morality, ethics, even something like loyalty, they're all just tools. You use them when they help you, and you throw them away when they don't, all in the pursuit of the only thing that really matters: getting power and keeping it. The tactics are often ruthless, always pragmatic, and the end goal is always total control. Now, as you can probably guess, this approach gets a ton of criticism. Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, which is kind of the modern Bible for this playbook, is slammed for promoting straight-up manipulation. Critics say it glorifies amoral behavior, ignores crucial things like empathy and integrity, and that this approach ultimately just destroys relationships. Plus, they point out that it often uses a very selective reading of history to back up its claims. But there's another side to this. Proponents will argue that the goal isn't to be a bad person, but to be a realist.
to see the world as it is, not how you wish it was. For them, understanding these laws of power isn't about going on the attack. It's really a defensive tool, meant to protect yourself from the power games that people are already playing all around you.
So there we have it, 3 completely different playbooks. The analyst, who plays the game with logic, the visionary, who plays with a sense of purpose, and the prince, who plays with power. But how do you choose? I mean, which game are you already in without even realizing it? Let's really break this down and put them side by side. For the analyst, the goal is to outthink your opponent. For the visionary, it's to outlast the competition. And for the prince, it's straight-up domination. The mindset shifts from being logical and predictive to purpose-driven and adaptive, all the way to pragmatic and amoral. And this is the key takeaway. Each playbook redefines the very idea of winning in a completely different way. When it comes right down to it, the ultimate strategy isn't really about the specific moves you make inside the game. It's about consciously choosing which game you want to be playing in the first place. Are you here to solve a really cool puzzle, to build something that's going to outlive you, or to climb to the top of a ladder of power? Answering that question for yourself, well, that's the first and most important step to figuring out your next move.